Hey, if you're in the insurance business and you're struggling, I want to encourage you to spend the next few minutes with me. Okay, I'm going to spend probably about 10 minutes explaining how I made $117,000 as a 20-year-old insurance agent, my very first year in the insurance business within an 8-month span. Okay, I want to walk through the story. I've got some things I'm remembering lately that I didn't used to remember that I kind of wanted to talk about and implement and let you guys in on things that maybe haven't came out on video before. Okay, so I was 19. I was an intern, and I was making calls out of a phone book for a veteran agent. And when I was doing that, I was having a lot of rejection. You know, I was teaching myself to be good on the phone when I really didn't want to be. And this veteran agent was paying me, so much per booked appointment, but I was literally had a phone book, and which is not even legal. And, I didn't even know any better. This is a decade ago. And the veteran agent was handing me a script, okay? I don't know if I've ever said this on video. The script literally read, hello, is this Betty? Which is incorrect, right? We've talked about that a lot. This is Cody Askins from Ron's office. I won't mention his last name, from Ron's office. How are you doing today? Just so many. I'm looking back now, I'm like, there's so many just stupid pieces to this. And it'd be like, good or bad or whatever. And then I would say, hey, do you currently have any life insurance? Which is a fantastic introduction to a cold call. You thought about dying recently? Yeah, I'm good there. I don't need to talk. Oh, okay, so you wouldn't like a quote? No. Okay, well, do you have any money? Have you thought about an annuity? No, I don't have any money. Oh, okay, well, have you thought about, long-term care insurance or disability income? And I was literally just having to go product by product. Well, these people don't even know what an annuity is, and the script was so bad. I actually had a little bit of success, and it was only because I was very persistent. And so I say that to say you can have success with no clue what you're doing if you just be persistent. Well, I did that for a while. Then I became a part-time insurance agent. I got my license, but what I haven't told, I don't know if I ever said this, I failed my test the first 2 times that I took it. And the first time I ever took it, I remember. It doesn't tell you in Missouri, it don't tell you what score you got when you pass, but it does tell you what score you got when you fail. And the very first time I took it, 69. Okay, I get a 70 in the state of Missouri to pass your insurance test. Okay, I got a 69. I'm like, oh, freak. Okay, so I go back, start reading the book again, go back again, take it, fail, got a 69. And it was because I was trying to learn out of a insurance book, an insurance exam book. And I don't retain information as well reading as I do listening or video. So then somebody tells me about this thing called, I don't remember what it's called, but it was some online, teachers thing it had a visual teacher and it was on video. And so I started watching videos and taking tests and exams, and I soaked up a ton of content and did the 2-hour practice exam and all the little quizzes and everything else. And I went back and somebody told me, hey, as long as you get a 90% or more on all these quizzes, you'll probably pass the test. So I made sure I did that, went back a couple weeks later, took the test, and finally passed. So now I'm a licensed insurance agent. And I'm 19 at the time, I believe. And I became a part-time insurance agent for a little bit. Went out, I was working some leads, went out and made a few sales, did okay. And then as I was in college at Baptist Bible College, taking 21 credit hours this semester, playing basketball, and I thought, you know what, I really want to turn into a full-time insurance agent. So you had to do so much production to become a full-time agent. So I did this in November, and then I had to write so much production in 2 months. I think it was $5,500 in AP, or maybe it was $5,500 in commissions, which would have been $11K in premium. And I did that, and I became a full-time agent. And I think my start date was January 1st of a long time ago, okay? And it was either 2011 or 2012. And I think it was January 1st of 2012 or December 31st of 2011, something like that. And I became a full-time insurance agent. And when I first started as an insurance agent, I didn't really know what I was going to do to be successful. I didn't know what I was going to do, and there's going to be some good key points you need to keep listening to. I didn't know what I was going to do to be successful. But before I started, I said, you know what, I need a goal. I'm a sports guy. I'm an athlete. I'm playing college basketball. I said, you know what, I'm going to write down that I want to earn $100,000 my first year in the insurance business, and I want to win a top trip. And I dated it, signed it, and I hung it up in the wall of my cubicle. And every single day I went out to hit that and make that goal a reality. And what I learned by running the numbers, I need to sit down with about 10 people a week to make my goal a success. Okay, so I started out doing some calling, working my warm market, doing some door knocking. What I quickly learned over the first couple weeks is I was struggling to get in front of enough people because I had such a limited amount of time. And most people would just use that as an excuse. I didn't want to use that as an excuse. You know, I wanted to actually reach my goal. I want to do whatever it took. Some people say they'll do whatever it takes. I believe in actually doing whatever it takes. And so I came up with an idea because I was having success making cold calls because I'd already done it for a veteran agent, but I made a better script. And because I just learned everything that he was doing that was wrong. And so I scheduled a call night. It was like my first week in January of that year. And I brought over college kids to the office because I was in college. I brought over, I think 3 college kids. And I gave them all a script, a cubicle, a phone, and a data list, cold call data list that was scrubbed. And I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to read this script. You're going to book appointments. I'm going to walk around and help you. I'm going to make calls as well. I'll buy pizza for everybody. I'm going to give you cash if you book. First appointment you book, you get $10. Second appointment you book, you get another $10. Third appointment, you get $20. And every one after the third, you still get $20, okay? And then the top person for the night gets an extra $20. So those 3 students were calling with me. And remember the first call night like it was yesterday. We started out a little slow, picked up, about halfway through we got some pizza, and we finished the night. I remember I always had this appointment sheet where they could write their appointments on it, and I could go put them in my calendar and everything else. And at the end of the night, I would go take all the sheets and put them in my calendar for the week. And the script wasn't fantastic. I mean, I believe it was, you know, hey Betty, hey, this is Cody. Something about, you know, hey, we've got a new product. You know, we've got a new program out to help you with your final expenses. There's no health qualifying. You're going to love it. And Cody needs to come drop off the information. Should you do that on Tuesday or Thursday? Very simple, very straightforward. And not even as good now if I'd have known as good as it could have been. And I did that. And we, at the end of the night, had, I believe, one person set 5, one person set 3, and one person set 2, something like that. And I think I had set a few as well. I think we set like 14 appointments the first call night. And again, I don't know exact, but it was close. It was like 14 appointments, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've figured this thing out. I was like so excited. I gave everybody cash and paid them, and top person got an extra $20. Person got 5 appointments got 10, 10, 20, 20, 20. That's 80 plus 20, $100 for like 2 hours. And they wanted to come back, obviously. And I went and put them all on my calendar. I went and ran the appointments over the next 3 days and 4 days, whatever it was. And we would always call on Monday nights for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Fridays if we needed to. And I remember that about 8 of those appointments stood me up. I sat with 6 and I sold 2 or 3. And I thought, oh my, this is good. Now the no-show rate sucked because I was cold calling, and we weren't adding lockdown closes and confirming and everything, addresses and directions and everything else. But I figured something out to maximize my time. You got to remember, I'm in college as a student athlete, practices, games, tournaments, playing basketball full time, and taking 21 credit hours a semester. So I started doing that. And then when I didn't have appointments on like a Friday or Saturday, I would go cold door knock. I remember one Friday I left school, got out to Willow Springs at like between noon and 1, and about an hour and a half drive after class. And I door knocked till almost 10 o'clock at night. It's like 100 and myself and a couple other agents, and it was like 175 doors. And we wrote 6 policies, cold door knocking. And so I made it my mission to set 15 appointments, sit with 10, and sell 5 every single week through cold calling and cold door knocking and doing whatever it takes. And after doing that and just being consistent, and I remember my first year there was a World Series contest, a sales contest. If you were in the top 7, I believe, rookies in the people that were in their first 3 years in the company, you got to go to the World Series. And so you had to do at least, typically you had to do at least $30K in commissions over like 3 months. Well, I did like 30, 35, 38, 40K in commissions, like 80, 90K in premium. And I won the trip and kept doing what I was doing. At the end of 8 months, not only I'd been to the World Series, I had, at the end of 8 months, made over 100K, and I didn't even work the last few months of the year. I went back to playing basketball in college, and I finished the year with some residuals and renewals and everything else coming in later, $117,361.13 my first year as a new insurance agent. So I say all that to let you know that I believe that if I can succeed, that I truly believe that anyone else can too. And so I want to challenge you to do whatever it takes to succeed. You can make 100K. You just need to map it out and go do it. Okay, so that was an explanation, a brief explanation, not a long one, of my first year as insurance agent and how I made it 6 figures and how you can too. Hey, if you like this video and you want 3 simple steps that I teach to overcome any objection you ever get, then click on that video. It's right there. Go watch it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you there. New insurance agents struggle with objections, but you don't have to. So I'm gonna give you 3 simple steps really quick.